Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Here's another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I said, what? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She's a torta with the snack habit. Bye-ya, 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 bitch. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You already know what it is, man. As you can tell by that thumbnail, we're about to get it in. But before we do that, man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. That notification bell, turn it on all so you're abreast of all the dope content that I'm bringing throughout the week. And we're going to get into it in a Menudo style, in a direct fashion. Now, you see that thumbnail right there, and you obviously know what we're talking about. Who's running this YouTube yard? Truly, who's running it? Have you been manipulated to think that Raza's running it or the brothers are running it? Because that's furthest from the truth, man. Individually, we each run our own channels. Individually, we have our platforms and we let our voices be heard and felt, right? But at the end of the day, man, who's truly in charge? Who's truly running wild on these streets? It ain't us, that's it. I'm going to tell you that much straight up. Yeah, we got the time, but the time ain't now. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Adam 15 and a half, right? You know, he started this platform, this no jumper. I call it no pumper. You can call it what you want. You know, I call it fakery and a whole bunch of shakery and bakery. At the same time, this guy is controlling the narrative, gente. He's controlling a lot of what black and brown see on social media as far as when it goes on YouTube. You know, a lot of people don't understand that when you're able to manipulate people and you have the skills and your eyes are on that prize, you're able to, you know, set the course of where people are going to sail. You might not think it or thunk it, but at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, there is always someone behind the scenes pulling the strings, the puppet master. And in this case, I believe that's Adam 22 or 15 or 16 or whatever, however the fuck old she was. It's that man. And the reason is because he was able to ingrain what he wanted to do, manipulate his agenda into your everyday agenda. You know, when No Jumper started, man, it was a feel-good channel, pushing unity, pushing the promotion of young rappers. You know, a little bit of cheeseman from the streets, but who doesn't like that? Everybody likes to see a little bit of drama. That's what we're all here for, right? To be entertained. Are you not entertained? That's it. God, are you? Who cares, right? We were entertained, but it started to take a twist and turn into something different. Now, on the other side of the block, way over there and who knows where land, you have a vaulter named 1090 Jake, who was able to also manipulate the masses into believing that he was some hardcore character. Now, when it comes to 1090 Jake, man, I've always respected his hustle. I've always respected the grind. You can't knock someone grinding. You can't knock someone who found their niche or found their way right here in social media land and was able to, you know, adapt to what was going on around him. He tells his stories and he tells them well. Great storyteller. A person that is actually doing what he says he's doing on YouTube. But lately, there's been a lot of discrepancies in both these men's stories. You know, a lot of people are starting to take a step back and trip. But at the end of the day, none of that matters how you feel, because they continue to rock that narrative. They continue to be culture vultures. They continue to establish themselves and ingrain themselves in Mexicano and Africano agendas every day. Do you understand that without us as a people, without black and brown, there would be no channels like No Jumper or 1090 Jake? Now understand this and tell yourself this, right? Who really gives a shit, man? If they're doing their thing, let them do their thing, huh? I ain't mad. Let them get their issue. But at the same time, get your issue on your own merits. Tell your stories. Talk about obstacles and deliverance that you've been involved in. Don't talk about the next man or talk about, you know, what's going on in the black and brown community and act like you're doing something for us. Because, homie, you ain't doing nada for us. We just had Mexican Independence Day. It's time to independence ourselves and pull ourselves away from these puppet masters and these leaders. It's time to stop being followers and to lead our own course. Sell our own ships, homie. You know, I'm tired of people being manipulated and utilized and used and abused continually. This is 2023. It's this time to get our wiggle on, right? Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about 1090 Jake. See, I don't know this character. I don't know him from a fat kid eating chocolate cake. But one thing I do know about him is it seems that lately, man, a lot of the things he's been saying have been fugazi, caca, mierda, right? A lot of the things he's been saying and the way he's trying to twist and turn, a blind man can see it. Ray Charles could write that tune. Stevie Wonder can say more on that shit. My city more. He sees that shit from 10 miles away. The 602 scandal. Let me explain something about a 602, gente. Now, I see it. It just came up in my feed because I don't really pay attention to these guys because I know how they're utilizing, and doing the culture vulture shit on our people. But it popped up, and if it pops up, I'm going to show up, show out. I had to see for myself what they've been talking about when it comes to this 1090 Jake guy. Now, I've always supported his channel. I've always watched it. I've always listened to his stories, whether some of them are false or they're truth. It doesn't matter, man. I'm here to pay attention to what's going on around me so that way I can do my own thing on my channel and have something to talk about, right? Without doing all that fugazi diamond shit. So I'm listening to someone pops up and they're talking about 1090 Jake is being exposed for being a rata, for telling on someone, for writing a 602 to the correction officers, basically outlining exactly what took place on an assault. He was assaulted. He's sitting in the oil. He writes a 602, drafting it all out, letting the placas know exactly what went down. So that way he can get moved or he can get shipped out of the facility or he can get put back on the main line or he can get put in a deeper oil. One never knows, does one, how that state actually works. But that's what he was doing. Now, look, a 602 is a form that you write when you're indicating oppression or you're indicating some type of fault that the placas are at, right? Or that the institution or administration is at. If you've been improperly incarcerated or thrown in the oil, immediately you're told to write a 602, homie. You write a 602 so that way you can voice your opinion. That is a way for all convicts or inmates to let it be known exactly how they're feeling, to let it be known that their rights have been violated. That's what a 602 is. Now you outline the situation. Hey, I'm locked up for this. They found this in my fucking property. I didn't even know that was there, homie. They're trying to validate me, use that as a validation point. Whatever the case may be, this is your voice to be heard. That's what a 602 encompasses. That's what a 602 is about. It's not there for you to write, to tell them everything that the next person did on you. That's considered telling. Okay, if you write a 602 and you mention anyone else's name, or if you were involved in an assault and you're like, it wasn't me, it was the homeboy Hector. He did that shit. He reached over there and snatched someone up. That's telling, Holmes. However you want to cut it and dry it and flip it and bake it and serve it, it doesn't matter, Holmes. You said another man's name on a piece of papel. You put someone else's name out there and told them the whole story. I don't give a fuck if you're trying to wiggle and go to the next compa, go to the next fucking gym, living, or go to the next building. Whatever you're doing, if you utilize someone else's name, that's considered telling. Now, I know 1090 Jake has been trying to strike that, flip it to reverse it, and tell everyone, no, I was trying to just help myself out. Well, you're always trying to help yourself out. When these vatos get on stand or these vatos fucking tell the counselors what's going on, they're trying to help yourself. Aren't you? You're trying to get out of the situation and throw anyone under the bus so that way they have to suffer the recourse of that situation. They get ran over by the truck. It's called throwing people under the bus. This is a manipulation tactic. Grievances, 602s, any type of documentation that the cops are going to lay eyes on is considered telling if you outline or name names. Now, I know 1090 Jake is trying to say, well, in my state, it's different. And I'm tired of hearing this bullshit, my state. Isn't telling? Isn't bullshit? Hey, caca's going to smell like caca no matter what state you're in, Holmes. That's just the way it is. If a vato has chorro in Texas, he's going to have chorro in California. If he has chorro in Atlanta, best believe in New York City, chorro is real. It doesn't change what you do. It's just a tactic on how you do it. So when this vato was saying, yeah, I wrote a 602, come on now, bro. We were told when we went to the oil to always write 602s. As norteños and sureños, homes that are locked up and incarcerated, it is encouraged to voice your opinion and to fight for your right to get back to that yarda, because there's a lot more shit that can be established and handled on that yard compared to what can be handled in the oil. See, in the oil, the whole, you're confined to a box or administrative segregation or whatever you guys want to call it, whatever place you're at. There's a lot more that can be handled while you're on the yarda for everybody involved, for the whole group as a whole. So you're encouraged to write a 602 to try to get your way back to the motherland, right? You don't want to stay back in the hole and fight that case. If you can fight it from the calles, if you can fight it from the yarda, why not? That's just like a person that gets bailed out. He's still got the case, homie. He's just fighting it from the streets. Eventually, he's going to have to go do his tiempo or do his time, or he could get some probation or something. He could plead no contest, whatever the case may be. He's going to get locked up at some point in time. So this guy, 1090 Jake, writes this 602, and it's the big 602 scandal. You know, he's trying to manipulate people into believing a 602 is one thing when I'm telling you it's another. It's merely a tool that you utilize to voice your opinion to help you get out of a wreck. You know, I've written several 602s in my life. Improper, inadequate medical conditions. Vatos are fucking not giving us our medication. Hey, they're fucking not feeding us on time. Not telling, just hey, when are we going to get our comida, Holmes? Sounds good. It's supposed to be at 5:30, I say. It's 6:30 now, and I'm starving. The starvalization is real. Can I get my pinche hamburger, right? I need mines. Things like that, yeah, you're good. You know, I'm improperly fucking detained against my will. I'm a hostage in this situation. That's cool. That's smooth with a purpose. Hey, the homeboy's the one that hit him in the head with a brick and a rock and a sock. It wasn't me. That's talent, homie. But people don't care or see it that way because this guy has a big platform. Or this guy is able to manipulate people into feeling sorry for him just because he got pistol whipped a long time ago and beat up in broad daylight on a fucking live. That was that man's claim to fame. Pulling up. Can't knock him for that. He did pull up. That other man pulled up too. Pino, I believe he was. I don't know. I don't really care for the guy. You know, me and him had a little bit of lightweight words. You know, it was kind of like, bro, I don't know. You try to charge me. Hey, I'm going to charge you for an interview. Man, bitch. Get the fuck up out of here, Holmes, with your fake ass gold teeth and your dookie braids. Sasuke, you better get your mind right so you can shine right. And that was the gist of our conversation. I'm out of here, buddy. You know what I mean? Who do you think you are? Charleston White, I said? You know, you ain't Mason me now. Or other guys. So now, this guy's got so much clout and so much recognition because he was able to make people believe his stories. But this one, he can't get away from, man. This one, I don't give a fuck what he says. Real convicts, real people that have been incarcerated and done time, we understand that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the land, his camarada, his partner in crime, Adam, 15 4/4, right, is over there chilling with G-Face, right, Brick Baby, whoever else, the cast of characters he brings on. They're telling these stories and exposing people and doing what they do, and he's in the background collecting dividends. He's getting his increments, cuz on 55th Street. He's doing his thing. These two guys have the East Coast and the West Coast on lock when it comes to social media. And everybody watches their channels. Not necessarily for the stories anymore. Not necessarily for the righteousness and the lacing you up on how it is in prison or lacing you up in the hip-hop game. But these guys are literally manipulating people into believing that they're not the ones behind this drama. A lot of the drama that gets started nowadays has come off of Adam's channel. He's promoted or pumped it up. There's been several bodies up off that channel. There's been several people that have gotten onto that channel, been interviewed, and no longer want to be anywhere in Adam's presence, not based on what he's done in his past, because we all know that shit's foul, right? But we're talking about the way that he applies the pressure and the manipulation, bringing one guy on and letting him talk his high power shit, bringing the next guy on and talking his high power shit, and then picking and choosing sides according to who's there at that particular time. When this guy's here, oh, he's all on his side. Yeah, man, fuck them guys. Oh, Norteños can't fight. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Then when he's over there with the Norteño, he'll be like, young G's in the hood try to come up. Quick to pull the trigger on the next man. He don't give a fuck, right? He's getting his issue on. That's two-face, Holmes. That's chameleon tactics. That's the way he's playing the people out. Utilizing us, gente. Utilizing the Africano brothers. Now, I know there's always going to be a little bit of, the wind's blowing, static between black and brown. But that's up to us to initiate that. That's up to us to go out there in them streets and get a little too funky with it. Like too short but funky. That's not up to this Wood, brother. We don't claim them, right? To be over there manipulating the people to get a paycheck. 1090 Jake on the other side is claiming blood, so what, right? Now, I don't know. You don't have to be a certain color or shade. You could be 50 Shades of Grey and claim whatever you want to claim. And you could have possibly went into incarceration and hung with the brothers. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't the cucaracha right there by your chocolate saying, thank you. I don't know what was going on. But at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, when you get into a social media platform or you get on here spewing your hatred and your dislike for other people and you have your own shit going on, but you're like, no, fuck these guys. Hey, look, guess what? Back in the days, Gunner wrote a 602. Yep, he did that. What about your 602? No, because mine was cool, man. All I said was I hit him in the head with a brick. You know, hey, I was trying to get moved, homie. That's like all this King Von shit going on. We all seen the videos, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers, hey, man, he was just trying to move to another pod, man. That was smooth, right? That was slick. He said he was a hoto to do it. The Vato was like, hey, put me in protected custody. Yes, see, I don't care. Look, I listen to King Von's music, man. I'm a big supporter of his music. I think that Vato was great at music. I think when it came to music, he did it. And I don't know his reputation on the streets. I'm sure he was a hitter. I'm sure everyone that talks about him says he was that one. So I ain't going to disrespect his name. But I'm going to call a spade a fucking espada, Holmes. And when I seen that, that Vato literally told the Placas, communicated with them right there in that Sally Port, hey, homie, you need to move me. Oh, he was just trying to get over there to beat up an enemy. Yeah, well, it sounded like a whole bunch of enemies were in that pod. He didn't have to go too far. They were right there, esse. Just go up in that motherfucking handle your business. Let me tell you about California, because I can't speak on other states without knowing. We would have had to go in that pod, Holmes. Yeah, straight up, man. I don't want to go in there. There's fucking 20 enemy guys. But you're going in there. And you're taking flight as soon as those doors crack. As soon as those doors crack, homie, you better be like fucking charging bull, not sitting bull. You better run up out that motherfucker swinging. Get your issue on. Then when the Placas stop it, and then they take you to the hole, you didn't PC up or go to protected custody. You went there because you handled your business. There's been plenty of times, sometimes I've told stories that I got put on a yard by myself, took my shirt off and was like, let the Willigo bird fly, right? Whatever happens, happens. You think I was just happy about it? You think that's the fucking course I wanted my life to take? Hell no, we won't go. But I had to do what I had to do as a man. I could have easily told the Placas, hey, guess what, eh? See, the way that my fucking gangbanging works is I could gangbang all day, but not on this yard, right? Nah, that's not the way it worked. Hey, take me to protected custody because I like sucking chorra. Nah, that's not the way it worked either, Holmes. You know what happened? Motherfucker went to the yard and got jumped on. That's how it happened. Yes, I know it doesn't sound feasible. It doesn't sound great. But when you're gangbanging, Holmes, and you're part of a group, that's what you have to do, Holmes. Some days it's going to shine. Some days it's going to be dim. Hey, dark days are ahead. Just know that you're never going to be put in a situation you want to be put in, but that's called the struggle, Holmes. Now it's how you hustle and maintain that struggle is what separates you from the rest, right? So you have Vatos like Adam who pushed that. See, if King Von was alive, Holmes, rest in peace to Von. But because whatever he did, man, he was a man that he made his choices. But if he was right there on Adam's platform, oh yeah, King Von, all your enemies, yeah, they ain't got nothing on you. But then the next day, if an enemy comes of King Von's, yeah, that guy Von was in here, he was acting real Fruity Loop. You know, that's the type of guy he is. Manipulation. Who's running the YouTube channels? Who's running this shit? These guys are, because we've given them the necessary tools to do it. See, we give them our view, we give them our sponsorships, we give them our admiration and our watch time. And in doing that, and I'm not trying to hate on their channels, watch it if you want. That's up to you. At the same time, I'm just saying this is the reason why they're able to manipulate us. We have two white guys, brothers, and I got love for the woods, man, a lot of love for the woods. I got some homies that is real righteous woods in this motherfucker, right? But we got a lot of these dudes, right, that don't support these guys because they see them for what they are. Two individuals, man, that are able to culture vulture on our people. Now, 1090 Jake's a little different. I guess he runs black. Like they say, oh, he runs black, so he's considered. I don't know what the fuck he's considered. I consider that 602 he wrote telling, though. That's facts. Oh, believe me. You can twist it any way you want, 1090 Jake. You wrote that 602 talking about that man was the one that did that. You told on him, man. I don't give a fuck what you say. Well, it wasn't legal paperwork. It became legal once you put your signature on it. It became a documentation that was submitted to the administration or to the system, Holmes. And believe they utilize that in court cases. They utilize that in assaultive fucking DDMS hearings and whatever else you have going on. I know. I've been incarcerated a lot, wrote a lot of 602s, right? 602s are not there for you to tell on the next man. They're there for you to have your voice heard and to speak on your behalf. Now, if you say, hey, homie, I wasn't involved in that assault. I don't know what the fuck went on. You know what I mean? You guys got me back here on some bullshit, homies. Hey, you better check my G file, homie. You know, they spelled the G because the G is in me, right? If you would have did that, it's all good. But when you said, no, it was him. No. It was the homeboy fucking, you know what I mean? Kiwewe. You know what I mean? It was the homeboy, Mookie that did that. Come on, blood. That ain't cool on power rule. Ask Wack 100. Wait up. Strike that. Reverse it. We never know what he'll do too. I'm sure he's written a lot of 602s with people's names on them. With that being said, gente, open your eyes to who's really running the YouTube yard. Take a step back, figure it out. That's it. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming to you. And remember, at the end of the day, I'm a struggle to strive and strive to struggle. To keep it real, if you guys want to know what a 602 is, ask anyone who's been locked up and they'll tell you, that man told on that 602. Just facts, eh? Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears Gun's crown. See, I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's doing what I does, cuz right here on YouTube. Shout out to all the real ones, man. and all the ones that keep putting in that work, man. I appreciate everyone. Shout out to that Food and Felons channel that's doing it, man. Go give him a like and a subscribe, man. He's still doing his thing over there. Shout out to the Dubs, the Dub S channel, and of course Trap Island Records. That's the homie, man. Because real ones recognize real ones, man, and we're gonna continue to do that. There's no hatred when it comes to a motherfucker, man. Friendship is friendship, homes. Separate the weak from the rest. Team business. Gun. Bang bang.